40 years ago, in the aftermath of Ronald Reagan's election and the rise of the moral majority, activist and political scientist Gene Hardesty founded an organization that would become a backbone of social justice research, analysis, and strategy in the United States. Located in Chicago and originally named Midwest Research, this new group broke with academics and liberal commentators who, then as even now, often dismissed white supremacists and the religious right as unsophisticated hicks who weren't worth taking seriously. Jean and her team knew the organizers of these movements were mostly well-educated and middle class. Most importantly, Jean saw how effective these organizers were and determined that social justice movements and the entire country should take notice. So Jean and her researchers began producing cutting-edge analysis that would become conventional wisdom in liberal and progressive circles. In the late 1980s, Midwest Research relocated to Massachusetts and became Political Research Associates, PRA. For its first few decades, PRA was a small organization, but one with a mighty impact among movements for gender, LGBTQ and reproductive freedom, immigrant rights, and racial and economic justice. Trump's election as president in 2016 proved to be a pivotal moment for the far right and for PRA. Our leadership decided to scale up in order to rise to the challenge of the viral racial and religious nationalism that threatened the gains of social justice movements and the very possibility of a just and equitable democratic society. In just 2 years, PRA tripled in budget and staff size, capacities that have allowed us to collaborate with a much larger number of visionary groups and coalitions, publish more reports, briefing papers, articles, and op-eds, greatly expand our social media presence, and shift narratives through increased engagement with reporters and media. After 40 years, PRA proudly remains a rare source of expertise on supremacist and authoritarian movements that is of and for justice and democracy builders. We partner with frontline movement organizations. Most represent communities directly targeted by the right. We provide these groups, as well as journalists and civic leaders, strategic insights and actionable intelligence to block anti-democratic forces and build a more just and liberated world. PRA continues to grow because we as a society face dire threats. Justice and democracy movements understand the importance of having strategies that are informed by deep and reliable analysis of those threats. Not to defend the status quo, but to build effective, countervailing, transformative movements. PRA envisions a just, multiracial, and religiously plural feminist democratic society, free from oppression and exploitation. A society in which supremacist and authoritarian forces no longer hold sway. Over the next 40 years, we look forward to realizing that vision together.